Yeah, no. No pictures for you. So, first in person of State of the Map in 3 years. Wow. It's like for 2 years, we just looking at pictures on the screen and pretended to be interested. Well, it was so very boring, but we got used to it. We got this Stockholm syndrome. Maybe we could fix it and make it international. And then we got here. And oh god, the talks, they're suddenly in 3D with surround sound. I was sitting here at Richard's talk, opening talk, and found myself agreeing with everything he said. And then I said that Johan's and Florian's talks, and I found myself disagreeing with everything he said. It was so great disagreeing with things. And people, like I came in the morning of Friday, 3 days, my God. And like I know half of you, and so I talk and talk and talk for 3-4 days straight, and you're so great. Some of you are here for the first time. Who here for the first time? Oh, that's like a half. Welcome. I hope you come again. There were people on Friday who were heavily jet-lagged from having traveled like from other side of the world. And it showed. I have been at the Facebook event, social event that was on the rooftop, and it was so fancy. I've never seen fancy at State of the Map. How far have we come? Yeah, and I forgot what I was planning to talk about, but it's like really great just being able to see you, talk to you, hug you, I don't know, to make you do things, make you laugh, make you applaud and raise your hands. That's amazing. And we definitely should have more of this. Virtual stuff doesn't cover it. So I'm hoping there will be no viruses and we come next week. Yeah, but generally, yeah, it was great. Thank you. And Gregory, you can switch the slide.
Can we have a picture now? The next one. Okay, there's not another slide. I finished these about an hour before the closing session. So here we are, and they're the slightly out of date numbers. I think we had a few more people on venue list. But look, that's the people that were here in person, and I think we're gonna, if you were joining us remotely, we're glad you could join us, even though we're here. There was a link to submit your own. We'll make another picture with more people. Lots of you, over 400 of us in attendance. It's not been that number at State of the Map for some time, has it? So yeah, that's been great. What's next? I can't remember what the slides are. Yes, so we had an academic track here for the 5th time. I hope you went to it, even if you're not academic. You can scan the QR code if I don't put my head or hand in the way to get the 72-page long proceedings if you like reading. But also the talks and the actual presentations were really good. I went to some of them. Thank you for the editors that kind of peer reviewed that, kind of selected them. Marco was telling me he's actually really impressed, and I think he believes it's the best academic track ever at State of the Map, and he was amazed at how many abstracts we had submitted and the talks, and him telling me that was just really exciting. So I think that's great. Do we want to do lots of round of applause and applause for the academic track? So thank you. There's going to be lots of thank yous because it takes a lot to happen. To our sponsors, this is an out-of-date slide because we were doing it last minute. So we've got our gold sponsors listed there. We've also got the silver, bronze and support sponsors that you can see on the website or on the lovely banner at my side. Yeah, they help make it happen. Although we need lots of people, we also do need the money to pay for the lovely coffee we had and things like the venue-less system and just all the logistics. And it's just nice to know that they've got our back and they want to support us. Yeah, great. Who else shall we thank? We'll thank our for the sponsors. Yeah, so and the volunteers, man, it takes a lot of volunteers. It's we've got the organising committee that for over a year they're kind of planning and seeing where can we host. Can we host in person? Can we use venue-less again? And all the I've not listed the people that look through all the proposals. I did some of that, and there's just loads that we get submitted that you have to sift through. Some that you go like, do they actually know what OpenStreetMap is? Zero, you know, it takes time. Others that you're like, wow, we've got to have this one. And you hope the other people doing that agree with you. And that's why we get the great talks. I could have done this in a better order. But the academic team that kind of do that for the academic track and do kind of, you know, they've got their credentials as well as the main team. The tech team that, you know, help run the video so you can see this, help run the slides, help when I'm making the slides at the last minute, they make sure the file's in the right place because I can't manage to embed a video. We'll see if I actually, if any of us managed, you know. Yeah, they're great. The session hosts and the assistants that you see here that introduced the talks, that led the Q&A, kept us running on time. I think generally we were on time. And down at the information desk, all those people that helped, did the registration, make sure it ran smoothly, and helped you out if you had queries or if things didn't work. You know, people that had before the conference even started having payment issues or things like that, or login issues. The people that set up this, when I arrived on Friday, I could just see a lovely conference venue, and we'll thank the people that are going to sit down and tidy it all up and make the university good, because I'm sure they'll do a great job. So a round of applause for all the volunteers. And now we get on to some special people, because Christine had to leave early, couldn't be here, and she said, Greg, I've got to leave early. You're doing the closing. Please make sure you thank these people. She said, please make sure you thank Michelle. She's the accountant for SotM, so she gets by the foundation, but actually she does a lot of work for us, helping the finances, doing things with VAT in 2 different countries, all these reimbursing people, you know, people paying the money that then they need to get back because they can't afford it, and a lot of things going. So yeah, Christine just really wanted to value Michelle on that, who came to the conference as well. I think she might have left slightly early so that we didn't embarrass her. Yes, I was going to say she attends. She doesn't need to do that as the accountant, but she attends. She loves OpenStreetMap and goes there. And Grant just said she asks really interesting questions. So I don't know what that's in reference to. I hope she asked Grant a difficult question, because that's what the interesting ones are. So she definitely knows she's not just doing the books. You know, she loves OpenStreetMap. Dorothea, similar, the administrative assistant for OSMF. When I've been more involved in the organising team, I've just known how much she's helped with the email. She, you know, she looks up to us. Christine said, if Christine forgets any emails, she knows it won't go unanswered, because Dorothea says, Christine, have you answered this? You need to deal with this, you know, and all the bits and the paperwork and yeah, some of the really minute and detailed things there. Christine actually said about Dorothea, she's the other half of my brain. She's half of my brain. She's like, you know, running basically almost half of the conference in a way, which means, you know, if Dorothea is one half, then the other half is Christine, the state of the map chairperson. As I said, she's left early, but she's done this for a few years and absolutely dedicated to it. You know, we need her half of the brain as well, because she's got the passion. She knows what we need and who we need to help, and she knows the bits and works with Dorothea, and Christine does it as a volunteer. And these 3 people, absolutely really important for the conference. I know that, but Christine said, make sure you thank them. So it comes from Christine as well. What was my next slide? Oh, thank you, all of you. How could we forget? You know, we can run a conference. Well, we do our best, but it would be no good if there were no speakers. You know, well, some of us would just hang out at the coffee maybe and drink that. But we need these talks to motivate us to know the new bits and to spur the conversations. We need the attendees. We need people asking those interesting questions and disagreeing with some talks. You know, otherwise it's just talking to an echo chamber or talking to a mirror. And that also extends to the people doing that remotely, tweeting or in person, tweeting, Telegram, photos, chatters, all that. So keep doing that. Keep doing comments. Keep doing blogs and photos. Tag it with SotM 2022, particularly blogs, or I'll probably do a video because that's my thing. But the blogs reviewing it and what were your best talks so people can see the recordings is really good. I've definitely missed someone, haven't I?
Yes, we did miss someone very important. If it wasn't for that person from the local team, SotM, I promise wouldn't be possible because it has been almost impossible to finish and to close and to arrange some of the things. So the biggest thank you for the local team goes to Valentina, and she is right there in the end of the room, here hiding. Well, thank you for everything.
Yes, yes. And I hope the local team generally were included in that volunteer team because, you know, we don't just come and dump ourselves on a country. We need people that actually know what Italy's like. No, I keep talking about coffee, but I think we need people that know the good coffee. Yeah, so keep sharing. Thank you. Okay, so we've done some thank yous. I've got a little quiz here that I like to put in occasionally. Where was State of the Map EU in 2011? Does anyone know? Want to shout out? Yeah, what? I mean, it could be a country that's not in the EU anymore, but where in the EU? Narrow it down to a country. Vienna in Austria, yeah. So I'm somewhere in that photo. There's a few people that look quite young, like Fredericks looking rather young. I think that's before he was on the board. But yes, so State of the Map EU was in Vienna. This is a photo from that. It was just, we want to go on to OpenStreetMap. Austria has become a local chapter. So somewhere we have the OpenStreetMap Foundation board. If they could come down. Amanda, don't hide. And look at that. And have we got OpenStreetMap Austria or someone representing them? Brilliant. So didn't you see that? Come down. So that was beautiful with Dorothea just handing the paperwork as she does. And we have, you can get a photo of shaking hands. Someone's taking a photo. Has someone got a thing? Signing, yeah. So this is always the fun thing. I'm amazed. I think we've got quite a few local chapters, but it's nice when every year we have an extra local chapter that joins, and we can do it in this very personal way. People can meet face to face because you can become a local chapter without meeting face to face. So it's now nice to meet people like Amanda from the foundation. Do you want to say some words?
Just a side comment, if we grow so quickly that we have more than one local chapter a year, we of course can have 2 signing ceremonies here.
Yes, you should have told me before. Yeah, so next year we want 2 local chapters. If you've got a community in your country and you don't have a local chapter, then find out why, find out about the organisation. Talk to Amanda, talk to Roland and the Austria guys about how you should do it, why you should do it, what it means. And next year we're going to have 2 local chapters joining us, yeah? Yeah, okay. Brilliant. Well, they're probably actually reading what's in the agreement, you know. We will give all our data to the foundation. We will every week say that we love OpenStreetMap. We will represent OpenStreetMap locally in the best possible way. That's what it's about, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. And the foundation, yeah. They'll do the secret ritual and learn the secret handshake later. Okay. Oh, so I've also got a slide on become a foundation member. If you don't have a local chapter, or even if you do, you can become a foundation member today. Join.osmfoundation.org. And it's just your way of saying you support what we're doing as an organization. And it supports things happening like this conference, like paying for Dorothea and Michelle. Also, if you haven't seen already, downstairs, we are downstairs, but there's the foundation board. You can visit there to get some stickers for your community and nice things like that. Photos have been taken? Yeah, great, thank you. So yeah, you can chat to these people more about the foundation if you don't know already. Where next? Should we go anywhere else? So we're looking for bids still for State of the Map 2023. There's a link on the wiki, and it's also on the State of the Map homepage at the moment. There's about a week and a half left, I think, to put your bid in for your community, your country to host State of the Map. And we'll review those. We just want a local community. The existing volunteers will try and help you and support that. And even if you're not sure, send an email, like chat to us, see what it would be. See if you like, you kind of want people to come to your community, to your country. Maybe it's hard for people in your country to travel this far. Yeah, you could host it. And if not next year, maybe you want to start the conversation now for 2024. But to find out where it actually is, when we announce, when we choose, look out for the emails and the blog posts. And I can't spell with. So let's skip that. State of the Map Asia. Is this a video in here? Nope. Spoiler alert. Can I do this without a technical person? We do not know. Yeah, there we go. They know what they're doing. So although we've not announced, we do have a few state of the maps that, oh, I'm in double, a few state of the maps that are happening regionally, and we want to share those and promote those because that's what we do as a community and as a foundation. Okay, I think that's done. I got distracted. Where in Asia is it? Philippines. Brilliant. We'll go back to the slides. So Philippines, if you want to go there on your local in November. The computer's tired. We can't go back to the slides. Can I just stop? I did see the next thing will be State of the Map Tanzania. It just likes that music far too much. Tanzania will be done that. It's been done. Okay, State of the Map Tanzania. We do have a slide and a logo. So it will be in January, so a bit later. More details to be announced, but it sounds really exciting. I think they've hosted their own conference a few times, so I'm sure will be really good. Follow them for more details on that. And I think they've got rough dates. It's just finalising that. State of the Map Africa. We're going to almost all the continents in the Cameroon in December, so we're not quite in order here. Oh, December the following year we are. So you've got some time to plan, you've got some time to book your holiday off work, haven't you? And make sure that, and all these great conferences are wonderful. So again, if you're running a local one, contact the main State of the Map organising committee. Even in the early days, we can chat with you and help if you need help. But we can kind of say if you've got a date suggested, we might go, oh, avoid that because there might be another State of the Map nearby and you don't want to overlap, or maybe you do. Some people go to many of them. Yep, so we're getting closer to the end of the slides. There's still more things. So when you leave the venue, you can still ask volunteers if you need help. This is an out-of-date slide. That's really annoying. There will be people in Florence still, I think, because we don't all have flights. We'll be looking for extra drinks and dinner. I think if you probably follow Twitter or the Telegram chat, people tend to share where they are. Some of the other places that we've been before on the previous days tend to be where we find other people. And I think Phosphor-G had a page of bars that maybe we'll try and tweet out or put in Telegram that kind of narrow down the choices if you're unsure. After this closing session, we are going to have coffee and snacks, just one final break. So you still got a bit of time to chat and figure out what you're doing. And if you're going anywhere else. Goodbye. Look, see, this was my notes. We copied this too bad. That's terrible, isn't it? End on that. No, we're not going to end on that. Or will Greg make a video of photos? He did make a video of something else just in time. But we've got all these bits that suddenly, even when I had finished the slides, the later version. So missing maps, if you're involved in that, they want to take a group photo afterwards, after the closing. So come down to the front here while everyone gets in the coffee queue first, and they'll take a photo probably somewhere down there with the banner, and it'll look nice. The recordings, everyone keeps asking, especially if you've been watching the live stream or if the parallel talks you wanted to go to both. There will be recordings online together, and yeah, they cut the talks together and put the titles on. So it can take a few weeks, but that should be done.
Yeah, final couple things. Everything goes. Like if you want this, really great, or that, or this. Okay, Gregory has dips on that. But spare T-shirts, bags, go reception desk and take them. Everything, we don't need that. So, yeah. And finally, after 3 years of doing nothing, we can get over of how helpful were volunteers for organizing conference. Like there are like people without whom we won't have that. So we want again to invite them to the stage, or stage is too small. Yeah, just to upload them.
You've been on the volunteer team.
Thank you. Thank you all. You're
Thank
so
you.
good. We'll package you up and send you to Asia for the next State of the Map.
Yeah. Yeah, you really do make it helpful. I don't think people on Venulus could see you, but if you're watching and you wanted to see the volunteers, someone will tweet a picture or Telegram it. Lots of people took photos. I like to think about the people that have very limited view. Also on taking things, the volunteers, you can sit down now and you can have a rest for it. Yeah, so do take things, go to the registration desk and talk to them to pick up those things. But the posters also, there were so many lovely posters. If one of those posters was done by you, you can just go and take it off the wall, take it home, put it up in your bedroom, give it to your mother. If you don't want to take it, then you can also take it down and give it to your favorite mapper, whoever they may be, and they can carry it on the plane. A question? Digital versions were on the website, so you can look at them there. I'm going to do that because it'll be easier to see them a bit. And that, I believe, leaves one more thing. Yes. Which I didn't have the slides. Do we have it as a link or a file? So I've got a video because it's normally awkward. When do we end? No one wants to leave. There is coffee and snack. But if this video did end up on the right computer, it's got a countdown for 5 minutes. That's our last 5 minutes of the conference officially. When it starts, I'm going to go. When it gets to 0, you can all leave this room unless you're in the missing maps photo. But yeah, and it's just, I thought I'd do a bit of special thank you to Ilya for summing up earlier the conference and the love he had for that. But in this video, I just wanted to do something to share that we're also involved in OpenStreetMap in different ways. So you might have seen, you could write up your name, you can still do that. Yeah, the videos at the end, they're the correct version of slides. So yeah, when the counter gets to 0, once it gets to 5 first, it should be embedded as YouTube, or that link. He's going to work it out. This is why we have a fantastic tech team. I'm just worried he's going to trip on the cable and break it on. Yeah, so when the timer gets to 0, that's done, and you can go enjoy the coffee.